Good morning, students. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. We're good. How
Uh,
are you?
uh, um, I'm still at the market, guys. Independence weekend. Had to get some food. I apologize. Um, Before I drive off, I recognized that when I went on Edico last night after my class, that still a number of you have outstanding assessments, and some of you did pretty well on the mid semester. Some of you did nothing, and some of you are borderline. If I were you, I'm gonna I'm gonna head up now. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to complete your assessments. I reopened some yesterday. I'm gonna give you an opportunity to complete until I get home. If you have any questions, you can ask me, but I will be in commute. I'm gonna ask you to please. I'm not gonna go cuss now to them. I just go beg on. I am begging on to do your schoolwork so that you can pass the course, so that you can save some money in your pocket. Please log on to Edico now and try and complete your assessments now. If you have one more to finish off, just finish it off now. I have about two, I have one big area to look at and two small areas to look at. I will finish the syllabus on time. Please, all of you log on now and get some work done up. I gave you time last week, and can I tell you, there were about 6 students who did absolutely nothing online. It says to me that you're not interested. And you did the mid semester and you got little or nothing because you're not doing any work. So log on. I am just about heading up now. I apologize again. Start working, please. I'm right here. If you need me, you can call to me. Ay, ay, ay.
Sir,
Yes,
morning
ma'am.
again. How do I know which assessment you reopen?
When you go to your assessment list, you'll see something that says retake. So you only retake it if you get less than 100%. So some of them give you multiple attempts. So if you get 100% on it, it will tell you that you can retake it. Once you get 100%, you don't need to retake anything. But if you get anything less than 100%, you can retake, and the retake will be in blue. So when you go to the assessment, just look at the section that is in blue, and you can just retake those.
Okay, sir.
No problem, yes.
Sir,
Yeah.
it's Suan.
Yeah. What's up, Stu? No man. I remember you, Stu. I remember you. No, say not more.
Okay.
Hold on a minute.
Fanny, your mic is open.
Hello, I'm checking if I'm in the right place. Is it list of assessments, homework, quiz, and tests?
Yeah, go to assessments for me. Is this Winsome?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, go to assessments for me, please. Go to assessments. I'm gonna go to assessments. You will see all of them there. When you click on take, the red button says take. When you
Oh,
click on take, when you click on take, there may be prerequisites that you need to go through before you do the assessments. But just follow the instructions. They're all there.
okay, sir. Thanks.
make sure that you guys are working here, because I recognize some students have already dropped from the class. But I'm gonna make note of those students who dropped, because I mean serious business. Oh, and the final draft of the timetable is out. I will send you a copy of it. God is on your sides, because the exam is not early August, but late August. They give latecomers get familiar with the content. So as soon as I finish driving, I will send you a copy of it. Please to make note, take note. Those of you who are not yet registered for the course, you need to pay up your money so that you can get your timetable, and you want to do the very best you can on the exam. All right. So I hope you guys are working. Please, I'm asking, I'm begging you to do your work, please.
Sir? Sir?
Yes, please.
I'm asking if you could reopen back 43 for me, please. It just
All right. You just kick you out. All right. You have to send me a message. So when I get home, I can do that here. Just send me a
okay.
message, and then put something in the group to let me know that you send me a message.
Okay.
All right. No problem. Okay, guys. I thank you for your patience. And I'm about to begin with a new topic. Really hoping and trusting that you guys especially the ones that are lagging behind, will be able to catch up. I remember as I tried to get the system up in one of our academic meetings, the college was contemplating or trying to find reasons for the poor performance of students having returned to the face-to-face. And I think it's very clear in my mind now what is happening. And I think in my mind, students are not motivated. I don't know what. I don't know why. Not motivated to do any work. The online could be a benefit because you can multitask, but I think people just don't know how to multitask. And as such, not doing very well. So I am seeing where we may have to just return to the full face-to-face modality. And even so, the students who were doing the face-to-face too, they had a high failure rate. I don't know what is the challenge. I don't know how else to motivate you. Any suggestions while I bring up this stuff? What can I do to get you guys to do some work? Please and thanks. What do I need to do? Mhm. I'm sure you guys are hearing me, so. But I can tell you that is one of the reasons too. One of the reasons is, the teachers in class trying to see if students are understanding and calling upon students, and you are sitting there hearing the lecturers calling you and you're not responding. So you would have missed that opportunity to demonstrate that you are fully understanding what is happening in class. So I know for a fact that's one of the weaknesses. Anybody else can identify anything that you want to share that I could possibly help you with?
So you say anybody can identify what?
Anybody can identify any other possible problems why we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing? So I can see how best I can help. Because I really want to help. I'm really tired of seeing me submitting high failures for exams. It's not cute. Especially when I know that I come a class and I teach. And that's a hurtful thing about it. I know I come and I give my 100%. There's not one day I don't come and give my 100%. And there are days when I'm not 100%.
you just have to continue for try your best, you know, and as while we try for me to at that point to give our best to communicate and understand and to move on. And you just have to continue to encourage us. Because truly we wanna know if we're going in other people's life, and sometimes things can get so overwhelming as what you say. And even if that should happen, we should still reach out to you and inform you, say we're not gonna come a class or that happen or whatever. But sometimes, you know, things just get to a point where you're just tired. You understand what I mean? So every day you just have to just continue. I encourage us, you know, and while we try for me to at that point and try to just pass the class and continue our journey.
All right, Nathan, let me ask you a question. So I like the word that you use. The word that you use is to continue, because when you say continue, it is suggesting that I have been doing that. But my question to you, Nathan, is how would you feel as a teacher to know that this is what you have been doing and students not paying you any mind at all, not paying you no mind? I mean, yeah, them now listen to what you say. How you that feel? What you that do?
Honestly,
Yeah.
it would have just reached a point to where it's like it's either I'm gonna teach, and for when time I ask a question, and if no one respond, then I just assume that everyone understands. Because at the end of the day, for communication is key.
Yeah, but Nathan, but Papa, having been a teacher for these many years, and you know that students don't understand. You know that students don't understand because you're in class and you ask a question and nobody not answer you. You ask a question and Nathan sit down and give me a call. Nathan now answer me. But Nathan is going to come and say, sir, I don't understand. I said, but Nathan, me a call you not answer me. And you don't give yourself an opportunity to understand in class. Now, foundation concept 3 is the easiest of the 3 foundation, you know. It is the easiest. It is the shortest of the 3 foundational courses. But I don't know. I have spoken to students one away. You know, I don't talk to students in class, not all the time. There are times I call students and I, you know, email students and, you know, WhatsApp students and I say, what is happening? And the student will say to me, boy, sir, you know, I just will go through, you know, I said, but say something to me, no man. They say, all right, brush yourself off and move on again. But there are some students who have just empty promises. Empty promises. Right? So it is just it is just unfortunate. It is just really, really, really unfortunate. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I am lost for words. I'm lost for everything else. I feel demotivated. I feel very demotivated. You know why? Because I've come and I've been telling you, let me just start at that point. It don't make sense. I'll go further. Let me just start at the point where the mid-semester exam. The mid-semester exam. Some students did well. Some students did very well. I have students getting 80s, 90s, and 100s. Some students did very well. But there are other students in the class who does not put in their weight. Not putting their weight. Students all do the mid-semester exam and I get 0. When I saw the series, I said, no, man, the student never come to the test. And when I look at it and I check all the answers, I said, but the student did the exams. How can you sit in my class and end up getting 0 for mid-semester?
Sir,
Yes, please.
not that I got 0, but to address that, I think that the Educa platform was not the best fit to have posted that exam, because it didn't give you an option to even return to see, when you get the chance to, you finish, you say, all right, I can go and look over, see if I make any errors. You go over, you notice the error, you can't change it. Because once you pass a point, you can't go back and make any changes. Even say, okay, I can't answer the question here, move on to the next one and come back to that one. You're not allowed to do that. I think that was a difficulty for me because I couldn't return to make any changes to a particular question. And I didn't like that because I was so comfortable with the topic.
Okay. Anybody else was able to go back to do anything?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I was just waiting, Racine, because unlike Moodle, where sometimes when you answer your questions on Moodle, you can't go back. On Educasoft, you can go back. You can go back. I was just waiting to ask somebody else that. So Racine, you can actually go back. It's far different, and in my view, better than Moodle, because once you enter your answer there on Moodle, you can't go back. But you can go back on Educa the rest.
But sir, there was a particular question for me. And when I went back to look, I said, geez, look what I put in, I did the wrong one. And I clicked to change it and it said, I already responded, I can't change it.
And that is it. So when you respond, it means that you have answered the question.
Yeah, but what if I want to change my answer?
You put in a new answer and click done, and then it will say responded.
But I tried that and it said already respond.
It can go back on Educa the rest. Trust me. Anybody else tried going?
It worked for me, sir.
Yeah, man, it worked. Maybe you never know. Is it the first time you're
Yes,
using
sir.
Educa?
I went back as well.
Yes, sir. It's the first time I used in Educa with the mid semester to do an exam.
Are you a first year student?
No, I'm not. I'm a returning, and this is one of my final courses that I was given to do. So it's the first time doing this course, but
yeah, because
and the Educa platform, not so.
all of COVID we use it. But yeah, man, it can go back, Racine. You can go back. You have another mid semester, a second mid semester to do. Just bear in mind that yes, you can go back. So what happens is that when you click on the stuff and it says responded, it means it's telling you that you would have answered your question. So if you think you make an error, you can go back and redo the stuff, but ensure that you press done so that you have the new response is recorded for the system. Anybody else had an issue? Let us deal with those issues now, because you have another mid-semester fast approaching. But if not, let me just finish this thought. How can you seriously sit in my class and I would have gone through every Saturday I come to class, I will go through the rules with you and I will sing the rules with you and I will give you questions and submit the answers to you. I'd have uploaded the videos for you. And you're really going to come to class, sit in an exam, do the exam, and get 0? No, the one day, me can't sit through the one day. Me can't sit through the one day. If there are students in the class who could have gotten 100%, 90%, 80%, 70%, 60, 50, it means that everybody in the class could pass the course, pass the thing. They're just not motivated. So I'm going to ask the question one more time before I start. What can I do to motivate you to do your work? Because clearly there is an issue. Is it that I am the problem? Is it that when I talk or when I teach online, you don't understand? What is it? You can talk to me now. It doesn't mean that I'm going to penalize you. It doesn't mean that I'm going to hold any grudge against you. I just need to know because ultimately, I want you to pass a course. What is it that I'm doing that you don't like and you want me to do differently for the remainder of the semester? Talk to me, no man. I need to start.
Sir, just a thought.
Hmm?
I think because what I had expected initially in the initial
Mhm.
phase was that maybe after you teach a topic, we would have been allowed to go and do the quiz. That's what I thought. Because when I realized no, that I would have to go teach myself and answer the question. And for me, at first, I wasn't so comfortable with maths any at all. So I had to go and probably teach myself the topics, which took a way longer time for me to, warm up to getting some of the answers out of the way. So that for me was a stumbling block, even though I'm kind of get a little bit comfortable with it now to go on. But I think going forward, I think for maybe another semester, so I think maybe
Mhm.
after you teach a topic, you just allow them to do the quiz same time.
All right, thanks for that comment. Anybody want to respond to that one before I respond to Racine? Anybody?
No, sir.
All right. But Racine, that's exactly what I do. I don't just come and say, go to Educasoft and do the work. I would have taught, and then I would have shown you how to use Educo. I would have gone on Educo myself and demonstrated to the class how to use Educasoft, what to do. And I said, okay, guys, go ahead now and do the first set of assessment. I think it was 2 point something. Graph 1 and graph 2. Anybody remember that?
Yes, sir.
Mhm. I would have done that, Racine. And to be honest with you, there are students in the class who have still not even done those areas that I would have started in June of this year. From in June, over a month ago. So that's what I would have done, my dearest. What I also say to students, I give you the opportunity, is to work ahead of me. And working ahead of me is not a problem. So I also say to students, work ahead so that when I come to class, you can say, oh, that it didn't mean, sir, because you'd have been introduced to the topic before on your own, so that when you come to class, you don't trying to battle through what is happening, because you'd have already been able to be introduced to the topic before and do the stuff. But I guess some students are just not going onto the platform, doing the work when I come to class. Like last week, one of my students, well, one of your schoolmates, husband died. And I thought to myself that, I'm going to go and give the support. Student messaged me and told me exactly what was happening. And I said, all right, never mind, I'll give you the support. And I went to a place behind Jesus, turn right, left, go up and then come back down to find something on top of a hill. And I went and gave the support. Booked up other students there, which was very nice. And I said to the class, on our way, while you're doing your mid-semester, or even after or before you do the mid-semester, when I was on my way, I said, I'm not going to bother teach, because the plan was for me to pull off, teach for an hour, and then get on my way, because I would have been early for the funeral service. And I left some of you to finish the work on Edica. When I went on Edica last night after my Calculus 2 class, I just shook my head. A student messaged me about 10 o'clock and said, sir, remember to do the thing for me. And I said, oh, let me just go online now because the next move, I forgot to lay down. I mean, I looked on, I just shook my head. And you know, one of the things that I recognize, the students with the low grades are the ones not completing their assignment on EducaSoft. The students who have passed are the ones who have been completing their work on Educa. One of the things I also recognize is right now there are 13 students in the class out of 32. 13 students out of 32. The day before the mid-semester exam, one student running me down, sir, can you add me to EducaSoft? I said, who are you? I am in your class. I said, no, you're not. I said, you're not in my class. You have not attended one of my classes. But them here's a mid-semester go on, so they want to do the stuff. And the only reason why I gave the student access to EducaSoft is because when I went over, I recognized the student is fully registered for the course. No, how can you be fully registered for a course and you don't turn up once? Okay, fine. Say that you're accessing the recordings, and incidentally, I can see who access the recordings, eh? And not very many of you are accessing the recordings. And there, I got something in class. Sir, I'm not seeing the recordings, support and so on. And when I check, not a look, them look on the recording. But you know, some students will come to class and want to maybe show you that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Sorry, sir, excuse me, small pause. I'm doing the thing, right? And I don't see the equal sign. And you're like, I can't put in my answer without the equal sign, or else I get the question wrong. So I'm trying to put it in normally, but it's not there over the side. This on your right hand side where you should have get the sign, the money numbers and thing. It's not there as well.
Try the keyboard.
Yeah, that and that's why I said like I tried it the normal way, but it's not working either.
All right, screenshot it, send it to me, send me your answer, and let me put it in for you.
That may talk about. All right, thank you.
Cool. Well, that me I talk about. If you're doing something, remember, you know, this is technology, you know, and technology can fail. And there's always a way to circumvent the technology when the technology is not working out for you. But if you can't just sit on the periphery and say, it now work, it now work, it now work. Let us try other avenues. Racine, she talk off her face that, sir, I have this problem, I have that problem. Don't follow Racine. Racine is completing her work. Don't follow Racine. I don't want nobody to sit down and say, exactly Racine, that me I said to, don't follow Racine. Racine, I do her work. She not finish it, but she do her work. But the rest of you, man, come on. I don't know. Last week I was a little annoyed at some of you. And today I said to myself, you know, I'm going to come to class and just teach and just go. And I said, but that's not me. I am not that teacher guy. I'm not that teacher guy. I'm a teacher guy that wants everybody to pass the course. And I have taught the course before several times over.
Sorry, sir. One last something I just want to tell you. Say, I could have put on the rest of something of them. So just know, say the small percentage or whatever thing that one be for the on the something as well. I'm last something. Sorry.
Yeah. So students, I'm going to ask now again. There is still time for those of you who didn't do well or never did the assessment. There is still time. You have another mid-semester coming up. Matter of fact, I think I've put it on EducaSoft already, but locked it. So you will see it, but it should say what it says. I don't know what it will say, but it's supposed to be there. I think it's the last assessment that I have on the thing, and it says mid-semester 1. So you notice it says mid-semester 1, because those are the first areas that I would have already done. And I'm going to tell you what it is now. And it's honestly stupid. But because some of you did not do the first set of stuff on Educasoft, I said to myself, let me not give them the first mid-semester, let me give them the second one, since they have been around when I started this transformational geometry. Let me get that one first. But I'm positive if I release the other mid-semester now, that some of you will still feel it because you have not even started working on the first set of assessments. It's not attractive. It really isn't. And we have to do better than this. We're not being truthful to ourselves. We're not being good stewards of our monies. You're not being truthful to your teacher. How can I last week say to you, use the remainder of time to complete your assessment on Educasoft? And when I looked last night, there were at least 6 students who have not even started one bit. The only thing them do on Educasoft is the mid-semester. Can't be right. God is not pleased. Can't be right. But one of the things that I'm sure you guys can't say convincingly is that sir came to class and did not teach. Or that sir didn't come to class. You can say it, but it will not be the truth, because I have the recordings to prove. But for those of you who are doing very well, I congratulate you. I thank you for being very good students to the class. I'm looking forward to you keeping up and doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. I really appreciate your efforts, your energy, and I pray that you will just continue working. Once it is that you put in the work, you must get the results. When I ask him, I tell you, once you put in the work, the results must come. Real talk, must come. So for those of you who are very good stewards, big up on yourself. No, gonna be fine. I'm gonna move into a new topic. It's called distant time graph. And while I'm here talking to you, I think maybe the best way to do this topic with you is to work through a question. I think this would be the best way to show you what the question looks like. And we'll work through together. So let me just find the question and the final thing I'm going to say on this, what am I looking for? The final thing I'm going to say on this is the way I feel about this sort of performance from students. So to myself, say, boy, but they can't catch me on a Saturday morning again. It's kind of hard for you to know you give up your Saturdays. and then you're not getting the desired results. Before COVID, I used to come in for 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock every Saturday on campus. Those students did pretty well. They make me feel like I want go to class for come teach. They worked very hard, but things and times have changed, and I have to just accept it. Accept the change and just move with it. All right, so let me share the screen. Are there any questions? Do you have any questions of me? Thanks to those of you who gave me suggestions and contributed to the discussion. Those of you who didn't want to speak, you can send a message to let me know. I'm grown, so I won't internalize what it is that you say to me. I'll look at it constructively. If you're feeling dead, you can reach out and talk to me. How do I share this machine out? Let me just copy it. Let me just copy it first. Oh, it's a- Share screen. Tiffy, I don't understand that comment. What were you responding to, Tiffy?
I was responding to when Racine said she couldn't go back and change her answer.
And I think because she never maybe used it before. Because she said that she's a returning student, so she's not so familiar with the stuff. But as I said before, now listen to Racine comments here. Racine know what you want. Racine I do her work. It's just unfortunate that she never knew that she could go back. But now that she knows, I'm sure that come the next time around, she's going to say, sir, me can go back, you know. But yeah, all right, thanks much. And congratulations, Tiffy. You're one of those who received excellent grade. I really appreciate your.
Thank you, sir.
Why is this thing not sharing? All right, let me go again. Again, share screen. All right, you're supposed to see it now. Let me know if you've seen it. All right. So let me ask a question. And please, I am asking that this conversation be interactive. as I'm trying to present the lesson in such a way that you can relate to it. By raising your hands, your emojis or your reactions. Let me see a show of hands of those of you who know how to drive. Whether or not you have a driver's license, you know how to drive. All right, racing. Oh, the quick time on the racing alone. All right, Winnie. Who else? Maya, you don't know how to drive, Maya? Come on, Maya. Come on, good. Who else? Say that again.
I can't reverse.
You can reverse. Never mind. One of them there come at Kingston. I'm a teacher. All right, Craig. Yeah, man. Who else? Is only 4 drivers who have in the class?
Yeah.
You can drive, Kerry?
Grand Theft Auto, sir.
Yeah?
The game of our Grand Theft, what is it called?
I don't hear you. Say it again.
No, man, sir.
Okay, broken. Claudia can't drive. Wait, look, that Craig can't drive too good because I'm putting on him hand. Kevani, Nathan, Nicoya, Sarah D, Susu.
Sir, I'm learning. Does that
Oh, you're
count?
learning. All right, cool. All right, nice. All right, and maybe this class is for you, Nathan, because you can take on your hands the rest of you. Thank you very much. Because you see the ones them who are learn, when them come on the road, them things them a drive for 10 years, you know, because them want to use the car and run you over. So don't be like one of those, Nathan. So this topic that we're looking at, it speaks about generally a device. Could be a motor vehicle, it could be a bicycle, it could be a skateboard, it could be somebody walking, person's in motion. So it could be somebody walking, somebody driving, somebody riding, flying. You know, it is just something in motion. Distant time graph. It's called distant time graph. Distant time graph. Poor Susu and Saradi. All right. On a sooner for drive here. Don't be like I saw what do you call it? A YouTube short where I don't even know if I get her name. The same one who threw the mic the other day over somebody was saying that her husband bought her a Lamborghini truck. And the host was like, a Lamborghini truck? She said, yes, I like nice things. And my husband bought me a Lamborghini truck. And the host said, but why do you have a Lamborghini truck and you can't drive? And I can't tell you the response that the person gave. But yeah, you have people who have nice cars and don't know how to drive. But this class is one where Joanna, she started her car from rest. She started her car from rest and she accelerates uniformly to a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. Now, in America, they talk about miles per hour, but in this part of the globe, we speak about kilometers per hour. So if you have an American-made car, it is in miles per hour. You can drive at 80 miles per hour, and then now you think say at the speed limit, because miles, kilometers are 2 different units. So it's just like you can't say you want 2 pounds of sugar, and you can buy 2 kilograms of sugar and say, oh, 2 kilograms are 2 pounds. It no works so. So 2 pounds of sugar is 2 pounds of sugar. But when you buy 2 kilograms of sugar, you're not getting 2 pounds of sugar. Do you get more or less?
More.
Absolutely. So you have to know your unit of conversion. All right. So now, so to drive 50 kilometers in 8 minutes or them heavy, I will know in due course the heavy feet people in this class. When you're driving, should maintain that speed, a constant speed for another 5 minutes. You know, she'll drive on the highway and for her car have cruise control, and she say, you know what? May I ease my foot off of the accelerator, you know? Them say the speed limit is 50 kilometers. I am going to cruise the car at 50 kilometers because it's one straight road may I drive. When I have no corners to navigate, one straight road. I'm going to cruise the car at 50. Police can't stop me and say to me that I'm going over the speed limit because I cruise in the car at the speed limit. If something comes up into the road, you can touch the brake. And when you touch the brake, it, of course, reduces the speed. And you are within good stead with the law. So she maintained the speed for another 5 minutes before she touched the brake. And then when she touched the brake, of course, she no longer is accelerating, but she is decelerating. So accelerate is when it is that you're speeding up, and decelerate is when you are speeding down. And she did this deceleration uniformly to rest within 3 minutes. To rest within 3 minutes. Let me ask you a question. How long was her journey? Look at the question and tell me how long was Joanna's journey?
There is it 16 minutes.
Very good racing, 16 minutes. And then what is see why it is 16 minutes?
Yes, sir.
16 minutes long. She went for 8 minutes first. Then she went uniformly for 5 minutes. And then within 3 minutes, she rested. So 60 minutes long. All right. Now, what I'm going to attempt to do is to draw that distance time graph to show you what it looks like. All right. See now what can we do there? Where did that be? Never fails to fail. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
We started from rest. Having read the question with me just now. What number goes right here?
Eight.
Very good. Because she went for 8 minutes at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour. 8 minutes. And then she had something constant. What value goes there, you think?
5.
5.
No.
Sure.
13.
13.
13. Because remember, you know, from here to here, it is so much.
5.
5.
Right. So that's a 5 minutes. Remember, time is continuous, eh? Never stops. And then now, she decelerated uniformly. What time goes there?
18.
16.
16.
16.
Right, because this deceleration was in the next 3 minutes. That was in the next 3 minutes. So in the next 3 minutes, she's decelerated by 3 minutes. Now, look here. This deceleration is really just a negative acceleration. So the deceleration is really a negative acceleration. It's really a negative acceleration. All right. So that's what the distance time graph look like. 3 marks. Tell me if you think that you could have done this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, this not hard.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, this not hard, man. So I'm gonna give you 2 seconds, 2 minutes to look at that and an opportunity to let me know if you have any questions. So as I said before, I'm using a question to teach the topic. Don't ask why I decided to do it today, but I'm just using a question to teach the topic. So look at it and let me know.
Sir, excuse me, can you go up some more so that I can see what the question, please?
That's okay, no, Nathan?
Yes, sir. Again, can Mr. What the graph now, sir? Please. Is where the 13 come from?
Say it again.
Where the 13 come from?
Where the 13 come from?
Yeah.
Can somebody tell it for me, please?
The 8 minutes
Five.
plus the 5 constant minutes that was she was driving for equals 13.
See it now, Nathan?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, can let's call it tomorrow. I'm still working out, sir.
No, man, I don't ready for your working out part. I just want you to look at the graph for me for now. I told you the working out part, but I just want you to see the graph for now.
Okay.
Are there any questions relating to the graph that I have projected now? Do you know, can you agree with everything that I have on the graph? The first 8 minutes, then the 18 as Nathan just asked about, and the 16. Can you agree with those? Are there any questions, anything in your headspace that not adding up, not seeing through it? You can ask me now before I move on. I give you another minute and then I move into the other question. This won't take long. And that's why I decided to just use one of the questions to do the topic. I give you another minute to look at it. All right. So you should get a place now where you are comfortable. Is there anyone in the class uncomfortable with what it is that I have as to how I got the distance time graph? If so, please let me know now. Okay. I think that means I can go. Okay, so now, question says, to draw a velocity time graph, to show the different stages or segments of the journey. We've done that. Calculate the acceleration in kilometers per hour. So let me caution you what the graph is in. What's the domain of the graph? What unit is it
Hello,
in?
can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you now. The graph is in what?
Hello?
Who's saying hello? Hello? Anybody hearing me?
Barely, sir.
All right, hold on, hold on. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you, the question asked me to calculate the acceleration in kilometers per hour square. What is the unit on the x-axis on the graph that I've just drawn? Talk to me now.
Sir,
About
is
three.
it the 8 minutes or I'm not seeing the rest of the sheet?
It is in
Minutes?
minutes. Right, good. It's in minutes. So my graph is in minutes, but they're asking me to calculate the acceleration in hours. Oh, rough stone. Oh my Lord. Can you see? Hold on, guys. System just shut down on me. That's the reason I sign into multiple devices when I'm teaching. So it's one of them always go down. All right, give me half a second, please. Let us bring it back up. Right on. Yes. Yes, that's class. Hmm. How many minutes? Make an hour.
60.
Yeah, the last time I checked is that we get to 60. And how many seconds in a minute?
60.
60.
Mhm. I mean, good job. So because the question asked us to, it's still don't come up yet here, but I just start in the meantime. Jesus. Of all the days, you know what the message saying? Zoom is updating. Of all the days, it now choose to update while I'm in phone. Well, if it's only the time, let me just walk you through the question. So our distance time graph is going to be in the x-axis, as you can see, is in minutes. 8 minutes the first time. Then she was constant for another 5 minutes. So it took me up to 30 minutes. Then she decelerated in 3 minutes, 13 plus 3, 60 minutes. So my distance time graph is up to the journey. Joanna's total journey took her 16 minutes. All right. It may very well mean that she'll go into she live in Crossroads and going to Excelsior. And when she reached Deanery Road, she was able to drive from the bottom of Deanery Road up to the top of Deanery Road for 5 minutes. Constant speed, that stretcher road there, or she may be coming down on Mountain View Avenue, whatever it is. And then she got to the college, so she decelerated. So our total distance is 18 minutes. Now, when I'm calculating her acceleration in the first part of her journey, because the question asked me to calculate it in kilometers per hour square. If I do my calculation, it's going to be in kilometers per hour per minute. They never asked me for minute. They asked me for hour square because the y-axis said kilometers per hour. And they want me to calculate it in hours square. So that means that x-axis is supposed to also be in hours in order for me to get that hour square. So this is what we're going to be doing. We are going to convert the 60 minutes into, the 8 minutes into hours. How do I convert 8 minutes into hours again? What do I do? How would I convert it? What would I need to do in order to convert the 8 minutes to hours?
Sorry, you should
But
don't
what,
mean
sir?
seconds.
Say it again?
You should don't mean 8 minutes to seconds.
No, man, not to seconds, to hours. 8 minutes, how do I convert 8 minutes to hours? Somebody talk to me, please.
So you multiply, but multiply.
Multiply. If I'm doing a conversion and I'm multiplying, what am I converting from what to what?
From minutes to hours.
30 minutes. It's how much of an hour?
Half
Or you get half?
divided by 2.
Is that I what?
Divide by 30.
You guys listening to what you say? If I have 30 minutes, and I'm asking you what fraction of an hour is 30 minutes, and you said half. I'm asking you how you got that half. What would I need to do in order to get that half?
You divide it, sir.
By
2.
Divide the 60 by 2, sir.
No, sir, you divide the 60 by the 30.
No, I'm just trying to say you have to understand where I'm coming from. Yeah.
Are you guys serious? 30 minutes. And I'm asking you to convert 30 minutes into hours. And it says half of an hour. And I would say to you, correct. But I'm going to ask you how you got the half. And your answer to me would be what?
Sir, repeat the scenario again, please.
All right. So I have 30 minutes. It took me 30 minutes a while ago to drive from downtown to get to my house. What fraction of an hour did it take Mr. Sham to reach home from the market?
So a half.
Very good. How did you get the half?
I divided the 60 minutes by the 30 minutes.
Can't. It's the other way around.
Other way around.
Yeah, it's 30 divided by 60.
But so when they said the 30 divided by 60, it make it so much.
Did you put that situation? What I heard you say first, or somebody, I don't know if it was you, somebody said, sir, divide 60 into 30. And that's not correct.
Yes,
60 into
sir.
30 will give you 2. So you divide it by 60. So you're not converting from minutes to hours. You divide by
60.
60. Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make. That's why I gave a different scenario, because it's easier to say 30 into 60 to give you half. So in order to get that half of an hour, it will be 30 minutes divided by 60. And I'm converting the minutes into hours. So when I divide by 60, I'm converting from minutes to hours. So 30 divided by 6 is a half. Now, how would I therefore then convert 8 minutes into hours?
So I divide 8 by 60.
Thank you very much. I don't know if it is that you know the answer, but you just don't want to talk to me in class. But I'm sitting here feeling very worried that you guys are not understanding what it is that I'm talking about, even though I gave you another scenario. But yes, let's move on. So I'm dividing the 8 by 60, 8 divided by 60 in order to convert. So when you look at the first part that says to calculate acceleration in kilometers per hour, during the first 8 minutes of the journey for 3 miles. So this is what I'm doing. So it's going to be this distance, 50, minus this distance. Remember now, when we're calculating the gradient of a line, all of it was done in foundation concept 2. It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The top value minus the bottom value on the y-axis, and the top value minus the bottom value on the x-axis. This is what I mean. This is the topmost value. So it's going to be 50. And this is our starting point at 0. So it's 50 minus 0. See it up here, so 50 minus 0. The topmost value on the x-axis, so the first segment of the journey is 8. and the bottom part is 0. So it's going to be 8 minus 0. So this is it. So it's 50 minus 0 over 8 minus 0. And 50 minus 0 is 50. 8 minus 0 is 8. But you recognize that this 8 is 8 divided by 60. So why? Somebody tell me why I have this 8 divided by 60 here.
The conversion from minutes to the hour.
Mhm. Very good. So if you had just left your answer as 50 divided by 8, you would not have gotten the question correctly. Question would have been incorrect because the question asked you to calculate in kilometers per hour square. In kilometers per hour square. All right. So that's what I needed to do. So that's why I have it divided by 60 there. And then no, you know that when you divide in two fractions, you're going to invert one, multiply. Look, the 50 remains as is. This 8 over 60 now becomes 60 over 8. I'm dividing two fractions. I don't want to divide by this fraction here, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 60. The numerator of the denominator here, this 8, multiplied by 60, and this 50 up here multiplied by 60. When I multiply this 8 by 60, the two 60s will cancel and just leave 8 alone in the denominator. See it right here, so. And then this 50 times 60 will remain in the numerator here. So it's going to be 50 times 60 over 8, which is 3,000 over 8, which gives 375 kilometers per hour square. Do me a favor. Take out your calculators. I want you to put 50. Let me know when you have your calculators out.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes, sir.
put in 50. Divided by, then you're going to open your brackets. You're going to open your brackets. Then you're going to put 8 divided by 60. 8 divided by 6, a closed bracket. Press equal and tell me what you get.
375.
Magic. Magic. Take a minute, please. Look at that calculation again. I was explaining to you on paper, but I showed you how to put it in on your calculators. Right? You have to include your parentheses for the 8 divided by 60 because that's a fractional form. So if you don't include it in the parentheses, your calculators will need a wrong answer.
So I see 37.5.
You get 37.5?
Yeah. 50 divided by open bracket, 80 divided by 60, close bracket.
It's not 80, it's 8.
You see now, Winnie? You see now, Winsome?
Yes, sir.
Remote this.
Sir, explain to me why we need to flip the 60 over the 8. What have to do that part there?
Somebody want to do that explanation for me? Please? Ask the question again, hon. Explain to you how
I
what?
was here talking, sir. Explain why did you flip it to the 60 over 8 and did not just continue?
Because when I'm dividing two fractions, I must invert and multiply. That's the rule. Because if I don't do it, I'm going to have a problem. So one of the things you can do first is to work out the denominator. Work out the denominator, 8 divided by 60. When you work with 8 divided by 60, tell me what you get received.
It's the 8 divided by 60?
Yes, honey.
0.13333.
Hmm?
0.1333. I would
Oh, come
have
here.
You hear me, sir? Hello.
All right then. Yeah, here, you're breaking up though, but and then 50 now. You can write down all of those numbers there on that you get on the calculator when you divide the 8 into 60, and then do another calculation and say 50 divided by all of that number we just get. Do it until we get.
$375.000009.
Very good. And it's 375. And the only reason you get the 0.000 is because you did a rounded value there. But 375, yeah. And that would be the correct answer. So my answer on screen there is 375. My question to the class. Are you understanding? Is there something here? And what do you mean, Jesus? Is there something here that I have done that I'm not in agreement with, or that you're not seeing? Talk to me. I have 30 minutes and I want to finish this question in class. Because this is all that there is to the topic, nothing more. I promise you. But you have to talk to me so I can get to the rest of the questions.
Yes, sir, we get it.
All right, good. So that's the distance, the acceleration in the first 8 minutes of the journey in kilometers per hour square. In kilometers per hour square. Not in minutes, but in kilometers per hour square. You have to be very careful. Please look at that. Then it says, no, the deceleration in, again, kilometers per hour square for the last 3 minutes of the journey. So you know what the deceleration is. See it right here, so? The deceleration is really equal to a negative acceleration. So what I can do is to calculate the acceleration again, but this time I'll just put a negative sign in front of it. So whenever you see a negative sign there, remember, let me explain something to you. Oh, time is so hot. Jesus. Remember, guys. Last week, Saturday, what time is it now? 12 o'clock, and I was still at the place. Last week, Saturday, when I was coming down, I was saying, why is it that these people coming down the hill and accelerating? You cannot come down a hill and then I press gas. For what? To go meet Jesus earlier than he want to see you? You ain't kill off yourself.
I burn out the gas.
And burn out the little gas in the car. And then now you have these little curves in the road. It's not really corner, but they are, the little curves, on the north coast. And then now when you are trying to go maneuver them curves, and I so come you're going at the hill, and I so come car turn over, and so come you burn up in a car. So I'm saying, anybody who wants to overtake me, go on. But just overtake me safely, because I am in no rush. Anywhere me I go, in no rush. It's one of two things. Is that I'm going to be early or I'm going to be late. But I am not going to be late and try to get there early and don't get there none at all. And if it's going to be a problem if I get there late, I turn around and go back to my yard. So what I'm saying to you, I say this to say to you that deceleration is really an acceleration with just a negative value in front of it. So you can calculate your deceleration as you calculated just now, the acceleration. But what you're going to do to show that it's a deceleration is just by putting a negative sign in front of it. It's just by putting a negative sign in front of it. All right? So let us attend to this stuff. But let me show you something first. So if we're calculating the deceleration, remember I said to you, it's going to be up here, so it's going to be 50 minus 0 over the highest one. Now going to be 16 minus 13, because this is a region that I'm calculating, that last triangle. That last triangle is what I'm trying to calculate. And incidentally, the 375 kilometers per hour square is this line that goes up right here. So that's the slope. So when I was climbing the hill last Saturday, we got to one section of the North Coast Highway that was very steep. And they put a sign there that heavy vehicles stay to the left. And the reason I'm telling them to stay to the left is in case they break down, they're not in the middle of the road, blocking the road. At least to the left, they are closer to the curb. And the left side is, for that section of the highway, it's almost a lane in and of itself. So if you go over to that lane, pull over to that lane, you're really not going to be obstructing any traffic. So that's why them say stay to the left. All right. Now, the buses that flew past me, and I'm taking my own little time going, I was able to pass them back right there. So because there can lots of passengers, so their vehicles are very heavy. So it took them a while. Well, me just easier just go through. Now, when we're driving side by side, I said, no, I don't want to drive beside him if I drive too close to the eye. I turn off my AC and my car just pick up because I'm using less energy now. So the car just pick up and drive past him. And I say, come on, stay around this. So and by the time we get back on the flat part of the place, he fly past me again. Right? So this is what we're calculating, the steepness of this hill. It is the steepness of the hill that we're calculating. So the steeper the hill is, the more difficult it is to climb. Final example. You know, like some people build their houses, but the staircase is not angled properly. And because they don't have enough space, they make the staircase very steep. Now, after a while, you're going to feel that in your back. When I ask you, I tell you, you're going to have back pain. You're going to have back problem. As opposed to you calculating the correct steepness in that slope. You're fine. Let us take, for example, the staircase at the college. Either block, A or B. When you move from student affairs to go up to the top floor, you remember there's a landing. So when the steepness there is not great. So when you climb that flight of stairs and you make 3 or 4 steps on that landing, you kind of recondition your back. And then when you reach the top of the floor now and walking by to go around the baggage area, you recondition your back until you're going to climb another flight of stairs. As opposed to just putting in one big flight of stairs from the bottom to the top floor. They couldn't do that. It would be too steep for persons to climb it. Remember, we have mature persons coming to the college, working and as a student. You have pregnant people coming, workers as students alike. So you have to take into consideration. Point is, it is a steepness that we're trying to calculate. Similarly, it is a steepness we're trying to calculate right here. How fast did Joanna come to a complete stop? I hope none of you drive taxis because they're rubbing out. I don't like them. I don't like 1 ounce of them. Not them as a person, you know. I just don't like them when they're driving. Them taxi. When them come onto the car, it's fine. But once them around the car wheel, don't like them. Because when them say a $50 or $100, how much the taxi fare, by the way? $100 or $150 or $200? How much?
Sure, 150 where?
150. When them taxi boy they say, and girls them say, $150 stand up. Boom, them just stop. You think them business about who are drive behind them? No. Because if you run up enough for them back, you're responsible. So the moment them see the stuff, they're not going to say, okay, I need to decelerate very slowly. Nope. Them see the $100, trees, down a town, crossroads, boom. Them they're behind, you know. Then the man, them overtake you, you know, and boom, stop in front of you. And I'm saying, brethren, you were behind me before. Go easy now. And then now you hear somebody call things that Pablo sell and Ping sell and, you know, LPSR sell and say, all right, I bless you. Go on, go in Jesus' name. No, Joanna didn't do that. Joanna decided that within 3 minutes, she's going to come to a complete stop. So in doing that calculation, look at what is going to happen. As I told you, again, I'm going to have my 50 minus 0 because it's my upper limit minus my lower limit. For the y, similar, the upper limit minus the lower limit for the x. The upper limit for the x is 16. So guess what? If when you were doing your calculation, which is why I asked you, the first question I asked you was the total time it took Joanna. And then when I asked you that and you answered, I was able to do the graph and show you the different segments. Now, there are 3 segments to this graph. There are 3 segments to this graph. The first segment is what we already calculated, a triangle. The second segment is what shape? What shape is the second segment of that graph chart? Only talk to me now, man, please.
The second shape, so the one in the middle?
Yeah.
That's square.
It's a rectangle.
Come down a little more, sir.
No, it's a rectangle. Because remember.
So you have to bring it down some more. We don't see
Sir,
the
carry
answer.
down your sheet.
From here to here says 50. Talk truth.
Yes, sir. Now we see it. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
but from here to here says what? It's 5.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so a square is when both sides are equal. All 4 sides are equal. So that could be a rectangle. And of course, the last part of the journey is also a triangle. So we're going to have 16, the upper, minus the 13. So again, 16 minus 13, which is 3. Similar to the first part of the question, the 3 minutes that she came to a stop, to a halt, at rest, is in minutes, and I need to calculate it in hours. So again, I'm going to divide it by 60. So I'm going to have 50 divided by 3 over 60. And that is when it gives me 1,000. I want you to stop, try that calculation on your own, and tell me if you get 1,000.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So you got the 1,000. But you recognize now that I have a negative sign there. What is that negative sign showing?
That will decelerate.
The deceleration. Very good. It is showing you the deceleration. And I have to do it like that to show you that the question did tell me that to calculate the deceleration for the last 3 minutes of our journey. The question did say to me, calculate the deceleration for the last 3 minutes of our journey. So for the last 3 minutes of our journey, her deceleration is going to be negative 1,000 kilometers per hour squared. Rock stone. But now looking at that, her acceleration was only 375. Her deceleration was very sharp. Talk truth.
Sir.
Mm.
Oh, sir, this is a freeze up. I'm gonna ask if I could I just say, oh, here they get the negative 1,000.
The calculation is done as in the first instance, where I'm going to say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 because I'm actually calculating the slope. I'm actually calculating the gradient of the line. I'm calculating the gradient of the line. So it's going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So it's going to be 50. It's going to be 50 minus 0. This 50 here minus 0. 50 minus 0. over 16 minus 13. So it's a difference in the y-axis over the difference in the x-axis. The difference in the y-axis will be 50 minus 0, which is 50, and 60 minus 13, which is 3. But I have to convert this 3 minutes into hours because the question was not given in hours. The question was given in minutes. But they want me to do the calculation in hours squared. So I have to convert it. I have to convert it to hours. So that's why I have the 50 over 16 minus 13. So I'm going to have 50 over 3 minus 60. So when I do the 50 divided by 3 minus by 3 divided by 60, I'm going to get 1,000. But remember now, I am going to put the negative sign there. But sir, it's positive 1,000 I get. Yeah, we know positive 1,000 we get too. But the question says to calculate the deceleration. But we know that the deceleration is a negative acceleration. We know that the deceleration is a negative acceleration. So what I'm going to do is just put the negative sign in front of it to show that it's a deceleration. Once the negative sign goes there, it's a deceleration. Then, sir, suppose you just put the 1,000 and don't put the negative sign. You can get the full marks? No. You'll get just 2 marks out of the 3. Because you would not have calculated the deceleration. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right.
Oh, sir. Can I get to yes, sir?
Yeah, man. You know, bad man. And you see the next time you go for one journey, just nobody depend, especially if you are the passenger. Don't just upon your phone or TikTok or try to make content. Look at the journey and see if how it is that because it's real life mathematics, you know. And then you say to me, but sir, after that, I'm not that me do as a living. You don't know. You don't know. Sometimes in life, you get a little work where you say, what a good thing, somebody pay attention in this class because you never really know about them something here. All right. So that's the third part. The third part is acceleration in the deceleration, I'm sorry, for the last 3 minutes. Then it says the total distance covered in kilometers for the entire journey. Now, can anybody tell me what shape that graph is in? What is the shape of that graph?
A trapezium.
Excellent. Oh, thank you, Lord. Very nice. It's a trapezium. It is a trapezium. Now,
Sir, you want us to see your face because your video is on.
great. Woo-hoo. Now, the trapezium is anybody knows how to calculate the area of a trapezium?
No, sir.
It's going to be half the sum of the parallel sides times the perpendicular height. Half the sum of the parallel sides times the perpendicular height. Half the sum of the parallel sides times the perpendicular height. Sir, what is that? All right, no problem. Thanks for asking. See the formula there? It's just half of A plus B times H. It is half the sum of the parallel sides times the perpendicular height. So that's what we do to calculate the area, the area of a trapezium. Half the sum of the parallel sides times the perpendicular height. Half the sum of the parallel sides times the perpendicular height. half the sum of the parallel sides times the perpendicular height.
Why this have to get harder?
No, no, man, it's not hard. Let me show you.
Why may I tell
Let me-
you?
No, let me show you what it is. It's not hard, I promise you. Let me show you what it is. Half the sum of the parallel sides. Now, if you look at it, this up here, so it's parallel to this down here, so. This, where we have the 5 minutes, will never ever cross this piece. Them are going to run from here so to Timbuktu and now meet. That's what we mean by parallel. Right? So those are parallel sides. So what I'm doing is finding half the sum of the parallel sides, and I'm going to multiply it by the perpendicular height. There's a reason again that I drew these lines. Those are the perpendicular height. And the perpendicular height is going to be 50. So it's going to be half, open bracket, 5 plus 16 times the 50. That's all. See here? A half, the sum of the parallel side is going to be 5 plus 16. Then, sir, why you have the 60 down there? Can somebody tell me why I have the 60 down there?
Because of the minutes.
Because of the minutes, and I'm converting the minutes into hours. Very good. Times the perpendicular height, which is 50. So really and truly, it's not hard. And just to write that, I'll only get 2 marks. So it's half the sum of the parallel sides, half the sum of the parallel sides, times the perpendicular height. Half the sum of the parallel sides times the perpendicular height. So it's going to be a half of 5 plus 16. But the reason I have the 60 down there is because I'm converting from the minutes to hours times the 50. So let us just look at that now. Look at what sir did. A half times this 50 give me 25. We want to get rid of the fraction. Quick and fast. Quick and fast. So 1/2 times 15 is 25. Then 15. Why did I do that? Then 5 plus 16 is 21. That 21 is going to multiply by this 25 divided by the 60. So this 5 plus 16 is 21 times the 25 divided by 60. Boom, 8.75. So this really is not difficult. It may look harder, but guess what? Once you recognize the trapezoid, the trapezium, once you recognize the trapezium is going to be half the sum of the parallel sides times the perpendicular height. Half the sum of the parallel sides times the perpendicular height. The parallel sides will be the top part of the graph plus the bottom part of the graph. Its entirety, not just the 8, not the 13, but the whole 16, the entirety. So it's going to be a half times 15, not 15, 5 plus 16 over 60. And it is divided by 60 because the answers are calculated in hours. Now you have to be careful, look at the question carefully when you get it. Because the question could give you in hours. The question could give you, she came to rest. Where you have 8, it could be 8 hours. Then it could be 13 hours, and it could be 16 hours, right? So if it is in hours already, there is no need for any conversion. But if it is in minutes, you have to convert. Hey, if it is in seconds, you have to convert those seconds into hours. So just look at what is given and convert. And don't say to me, sir, it's hard, because put it this way. You can go to foreign and open your purse and see a $5,000 bill. Or let me not say a $5,000 bill. You see a $50 bill. And you bought something in Walmart and the lady said to you, $35. And you take out the Jamaican $50 to give you. You know what I give you? Because the Jamaican $50, 14, pales into comparison with their $35 US. Pales into comparison. You can't use it because it's two different something. And I'm not going to take it. If you're in Jamaica now, and the man them say $35, and you take out a $5 US, the money have to go convert your money still first. You have to first convert your money, you know. And don't do it here because they might buy the dollar for about $100, $120, $110, and they buy the money cheap from you. So you buy something for them for $30, you pay them a US dollar, and they might buy your money cheap. We can go place, bank go get it for $140 thereabout. They might buy it for $120, so you lose $20 point each dollar. So you lose money. So don't shop in US dollars in Jamaica, because the merchants are buying in dollars from you far less than what it is that they will get when they are selling it back. So you're paying even more for the item. All right? So that's what it is. So the total distance for the journey is the area under the curve. Is the area under the curve. And the curve is a trapezium. The curve is a trapezium. So you can calculate the total area in order to get it. Your homework is look to see if there's another method you could employ in calculating the total distance. I'm not going to tell you, that's going to be your homework. Look to see if there's another method you can employ in calculating, the total distance. Right? Final question. Final part of the question says the average speed for the entire journey in kilometers per hour. And it says to round to the nearest whole number. The average speed. Okay. Average speed is going to be the total distance over yeah? Somebody saying something?
Sorry, you didn't hear that.
Okay. So it's going to be the total distance. The total distance is 8.75 kilometers. See here, 8.75 kilometers. The total time to cover the journey is 60 minutes. But again, remember, they're asking for us to calculate it in kilometers per hour. So we have to convert the minutes into hours. So this very easy part of the question is just the 8.75 answer that we got from up top, divided by the total distance for the journey, for the entire journey, which is 16 minutes. But we divided by 60 because we're converting the minutes into hours. So it's going to be 8.75 divided by 60 divided by 60, and I'm going to get 33 kilometers per hour. The question did say to round off to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to ignore everything else. If it is 32.5 or 32.6 or 7 or 8 or 9, I just going to call it a 33. And those are my 5 and 3, 8 and 2, 10, 16 marks. Those are my 16 marks. So imagine you can do this question in the exam for 16 marks and do the other one for 30 marks, for 20 marks. That's 36 marks, you know, out of 60. You pass the course already. Yeah. For those of you who...
Sir, back to the graph.
What about the graph?
I want to see it. I want to write out.
Okay.
Below.
Oh, below the graph.
Yeah.
Sir.
Right
Yes.
there, sir.
So
Yes.
you're sending this, right?
Let me see. There are 13 of you in the class.
No, you need to go down some more, please, sir.
So because like when you're sending it, sir, I'm gonna just practice like more anytime, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I was about to ask the same thing. Can you send it to the group, please?
Down, sir. Down.
Okay, further down. You know, I normally do, but I have. Let me know when to stop.
Right there.
You know, I normally do, you know, but the last time we had class, not last week, before, when I give the class something, most of the students logged out of the class. And I said that I'm not sending the notes because people have a responsibility to be in a class. But I will send it this time. I'm going to send it. They don't want to send it the last time around because people were in class and I gave an activity and nobody, well, let me not say nobody, quite a number of students logged out, figuring that out, where's when they send the answers. So I said, no, if you don't want to see the answer, then go into the recording and look at the solution. I don't know if anybody remember that Saturday when only a few
Yes, sir,
students, about 10 students remained in the class with me. And I went through the solution and I answered all their questions. And I said, guys, make sure you take off the stuff because I'm not sending the notes in the class. Because those ones who left the class, I don't think they should benefit from it. But anyhow, I will send this one in the class today.
Sir, I'm trying to get the 33 kilometers.
All right, do me a favor, put in 8.75 on the calculator, 8.75.
Yeah.
Then press the division button.
Press what?
The division button.
Yes.
Open your parentheses.
Oh.
Then press 60 divided by 60. Close the parentheses now. And then press equal.
Okay, so the parentheses has to be there.
Yeah, man, because there are two different sets of calculations in it.
Oh, sir, if you ever know how I say I was going to do the average, it's a shame.
Well, now you know. Now you know. Somebody was saying, sir, who is that?
Me, sir. So I noticed that when you get down to the bottom of 4, that you put the 25 over the minutes section. Let's say you give us a question like that and you only put the 21 over 60 and the multiplication by itself. Will that be acceptable?
All right. Before I answer your race, I want you to do it for me. Put 21
I
divided
do
by
it
6.
already, and I get the same answer. But I just wanted to know if this is the way we have to write it.
You don't have to write it like that. That's what I was saying. You can put it as 21 over 60 and then put the multiplication and put the 25 by itself. You still get the 8.75. You still get the same full marks.
Okay, sir.
Man, I promise you. You still get the same full marks. Listen up. Let me get the questions and then we can call it a day. Students, you know yourselves. You know yourselves. Please find the time, make the time to get the work done up. Please, especially those of you who know what it is that you've got on your mid-semester exam. There is a second one to come, especially if you didn't do well on the first. Say, for example, you got 0 on the first one, you know you have to go get bills on the second one. So that when they are both average, you can come up with a 50%. All right? And if you got, say, for example, you got 30% on the first one, still aim for 50%, 100%. Because that 100 plus a 30 is going to give you 130 divided by 2 is going to give you 65. Right? So the second mid-semester is going to be very crucial in maintaining your average or giving a better average. All right? Any questions? If not, have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day and be safe.
Thank you. Same to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.